He was excited to run everywhere. I've got to go tell them I can stand up. Chung Yip. Slow down. Be careful to walk, so your legs are weak. Even from fat, the most contemptuous day ever. Nor is it forgotten. Everyone is happy to know that. Yang Xinhan's leg recovered and congratulated her. To know that Zhu Kai Ni and 6 Kai suddenly have the power, the more people feel that. The shelter has a lot of talent. Only Zhu Hai America is still ordinary people. But she knows something. Know your place well. There is no blame in my heart. She's a smart woman. It's not like other young girls. I wish I had the ability to be a housewife. No need to go out and kill. That you can still enjoy a comfortable life at home. It's not great. She wants her to become spiritual doctor, comforting the lonely heart of the last great view. She has also done her duty very well. Thanks to her, the atmosphere in the whole shelter. It also gets better. This is the possibility. It calms the atmosphere of the women. Mature and understanding. He could not help but feel that. It's really convenient. You can do things that people couldn't do before. This could be a form of human evolution. Even though it causes death for most people on the planet. But the survivors are like a small fire. Will become a stronger and more excellent group of people. He leaned against the window to look at Yang. I think we've mastered the laws of evolution. Possibilities and 6 possibilities. LAN can on the 2nd floor. That's what Trong Yi said. I couldn't help but look at him with curiosity. The next chapter. I have always thought that. The power of each person's world. It all has to do with their personality. I can see the change of 2 people. We've finally confirmed this. My son is a doctor, so the power you've awakened is healing. Of course, he's a mechanic. The power you have awakened, it will definitely be related to machinery. Then we can understand that this power comes from the main. Your own ability, right? Or the power that you want to have in your heart. Even more intense desire. The stronger the power will be. You can't help but think about what Trong Yip said. And as Zhu Hai said, it seems to be true. The king woke up because he was shot. So he wanted a stronger body. That's his ability. It's about strengthening the body. From spring, lightning has awakened its power when it is about to freeze to death. He wanted to be able to withstand the cold. Salary is a martial arts enthusiast. The goal is to get faster speed and more powerful power. Now think again. Every change of people, it's all related to their wishes. 6 likely to look at the epidemic, asked. So the capacity of the great CA is the space system. So what's the reason? Because I'm the warehouse manager. Zhang Yi's eyes were a little dull. What does he want the most? It is after death. The most intense resentment. It made him reborn, back to life before that. Because you're suffering so much physical suffering. When in time, the end of the world. So he's awakened to the power of the space system, from which to store goods. Then his rebirth. Is it a kind of power? Zhang Yi smiled. It's a really interesting way of thinking. We need to better understand our capabilities. Then try to explore. Only then can we survive better. In the end times. Zhang Yi let down his left hand, smiling and waving with 6 possible words. Probably come here. Available opportunity just in time for me to test your ability level. Always. Sixth, and he came running in front of the plague. You also want to do more work for your dog. How to become addicted. Erection of fluid opens up the space of the dyslexia. Slowly reaching out, he pulled out a black bullet inside. Put in front of 6 possibilities. He said, with your current ability, can you do a prototype simulation? Start the production ammunition of the regional headquarters next year. Its production process is extremely complicated. The material is extremely rare. Conventional weapons factories. It can't be built. Here, before processing raw, no rags, it was once in hand. 6 guns of the armed border. He returned the gun. But he's still hiding a session of ammunition. Even as strong as the original, not fake-grade Fklon. Her power shield. Still fired through the barrel. We've been eyeing this particular bullet for a long time. I'm sorry, Chief Inspector. They will not be kind enough to share a little. 6 Revelation has awakened its power. The doctor wants you to try it. Can you recreate the original 01? When successful, the combat capabilities of their entire team will be significantly enhanced. Even those who are incompetent, when in possession of the bullet starter, they can still threaten mutants. Yourself, Zhang Yi, is a top sniper. This has the greatest benefit for him. 6th, then the hand received the bullet starter. The moment your finger touches your brain, has quickly analyzed out the material coordination ratio. She frowned slightly, saying this bullet was special. Inside use up to 12 kinds of rare metals. Just 1 bullet. I'm afraid the price is not less than 100,000 yuans. The translation says, there's nothing strange about rare metals. Which one can you reproduce? 06, the confident smile. Before that, with our production environment, it can't be done. Like now, hi, sure, no problem. It's just that the ingredients are a little hard to find. Although SAO, rare metals are not easy to find. I'm afraid I have to go to some big labs in Tianhai City, or research center of some university looking for new one. Happy to reply. It is good to produce. The material problem is not a problem at all. Just make a list and give it to me. What materials are needed? I said, Goddess Grace and Grace help me find you. Rare metals have many uses. They will not doubt either. The use of them to build a warhead. They have to say it again, even if they know it. Whether it's the South. It can't be so exclusive. Don't allow others to manufacture their own ammunition. That's right. At least the South at the moment. There's still no such level of control. Yes, I will send it to you right away. 6 Revelation immediately took the satellite phone raw. List. The special materials needed to launch the bullet. Expand translation. Many other rare materials. Make a list to send to the 3 powers. Ask them to help collect as many as 10 as possible. Tianhai City before Kier Economic Prosperity Hoa, the scientific laboratory, and the top universities. Also a lot. The collection of 10 sufficient quantities of rare metals, it doesn't matter. To expand the thought. Opportunity now. They are in a state of rest and recovery. We need to bring our equipment quickly. Upgrade a little. Next time the danger comes, the peace rate is much higher. 3 Kier forces after receiving news from Trong Yep. Based on this list, I can't analyze anything. They're excited. And finally, Zhang Ji let them do something. Because only if the translation program lets them work. This is a sign that they are one family. They immediately went to collect 10 materials for him. Within a few days, The entire city of Tianhai has been cleared by 6. They're moving to a huge amount of rare materials. For Trong translation, the campaign praised their contribution. Then he sends the materials to the factory. The creation of 6 possibilities, and told her to start writing the original story. SAO mission copy the original ammunition. It's also a great challenge for the 6 revelations. Shelter. There are not too many advanced production lines. It's based entirely on aptitude, divine manipulation of 6 possibilities. To do this work. The epidemic is not in a hurry. He lets 6 things happen slowly. Not long after. 6. It is clear that SAO has finished copying the original bullet. She gave Cho Trong a box. It's filled with silver bullets close together. CA, take a look. The original bullets have been restored. I saw the silver bullets. It's amazing. Well, this is. I remember the bullets had to be black. 6. I am proud to say, we've improved on the basis of propulsion. We've added the element radium. Can increase the hardness of the bullet inside. We also add toxins. Heavy metals, when the enemy is shot, will be poisoned and make the injury more serious. Listen, Zhang Yi, stop now. The hand is trying to reach for the bullet box on the middle stitch. There is more poison, SAO. You are very much like my style. 6. The answer is, I know that the great CA definitely likes it. Even though SAO daily working style is quite good. 6. Revelation stops uttering words. He swallowed back from a trick, not from an AI, for fear of him. Smile to the air. As if you were praising me. But if it's poisonous up there, how can we use it? 6. Then it says the poison is inside. Only when out of the barrel. Through the combustion of gunpowder. Met the blood, the newly irritated poison. If it doesn't trigger, touching it doesn't affect the body. We call it the bullet. It can also be distinguished from a prototype bullet. This is to avoid being discovered by others. You plagiarized the ammunition of the Jiangnan area. He praised the intelligence of 6 possibilities. The tiger is you. He's holding a bullet in his hand. As soon as you touch it, he may feel very mild discomfort. He thought silently. This thing does have an effect on our aptitude. Fortunately, our ability is space. So custom bullets, or regular bullets, it's no different for me. While Zhang Yi was studying the bullet. 6. Of course, it's hard to carry another giant metal chest. That chest is almost 2 meters long. You look very heavy, and you carry it very hard. There's another good thing. That we've made it specifically for. See if you like it. Zhang Yi saw the length of the trunk, and asked. Inside, this is not a new gun. The power of the 6 revelations can sharpen the machinery to the most exquisite level. It also means you can greatly increase the performance of your weapon. 6. Suddenly smiling and nodding is still a smart giant. Look, I know right away. Trong Yi was extremely happy. Hand to take the weapon chest. And then put it down on the table. Open the latch. What's in my eye is a kit. Dark silver body color. A pair of silver 6 guns. On it carved meticulous letters. A heavy sniper rifle. Anti-leg and gun body separate raw. Zhanji now likes weapons. If you see them, immediately hold them up. Enjoy. A connoisseur. Just hold it. A sufficient sense of weight and sensation. Perfect grip. Just look. Zhang Yi wanted to embrace the 6 possibilities, but a kiss. Happy to say. That's amazing. This weapon is amazing. 6 Revelation says more. Weapons and hydraulics bullets used according to the set. Whether weapons or bullets picked up individually by that AI. It can't be used normally either. This is the stuff that we made specifically for the CA. The small faces of the 6 flushed revelations. Zhang Yi is interested in weapons. Your heart is satisfied a lot. A leading machine builder. Seeing your work praised by others. That's what makes you most proud. Then she continued to say, Cho Trong Yi. I know the name of this weapon. 2 6 guns in dark silver, called the White Pride. Antimatter sniper rifle. It's called Lightning. To take the gun. Just for a moment, they have learned how to use them. He grinned and walked over. Put your hand on the shoulder of 6 possibilities. You're probably an unmatched genius. This time you have made a great. Tell me what you want to be rewarded for. 6 possibilities. Of course, listening to Zhang Yi praise me, the more red face. You're still impatient to say CA. We want to build a machine armor or robot. How do you feel? Surprisingly, the machine armor. In Zhang's impression, that only exists in science fiction movies. First, they're too expensive. Second, performance. It doesn't meet the needs of mass production. So far. Never heard of. Which country shows up to wear machine armor? 6, of course. He seemed to see Zhang's suspicions. She said, in fact, we learn mechanical engineering because we like robots. Building a machine armor is our biggest dream. I dare not dream before. Because the construction of the machine armor is too complicated. It requires 10,000 different components. But now we have the ability. 6, then he looked at his right hand and gripped it. Eyes filled with confidence, and then continued. After the recovery is started, the bullet, we see that it's my ability to make machine armor a reality. Normal people can't do that. Mutants can do it. Zhang Yi smiled. Whatever you want to do, we will always support you. 6, then he said. This will require a lot of materials. If you don't need anything, just tell me. Raw materials alone is not easy to solve SAO. A vast Tianhai city. You may lack the materials you need. SAO. Zhang Yi doesn't even know that. A promise came out of his mouth. He will make himself in the future. How big a problem you're in. Because he didn't ask. It's the armor that 6 Revelation wants to build. How complex the materials will be. 6, his face was very excited. Great, we definitely don't miss the expectations of CACA. There are certain abilities that can help us build our own. The robot we want the most. The program acquired a new weapon. It's like a child getting a new toy. Even though the war was temporarily over. But with the motto, far room, it's more. What day? He also spent a lot of time practicing. But then the moment came faster than expected. An email from the region to south has been sent to Taichung. This email received it at the time when Zhang Yi was talking, with 6 possible weapons issues. Mobile phone holder. When you see the email, signed by the Jiangnan Regional Command Office, be immediately alert in your heart. I have a little worry in my heart. Don't tell me the Chief Justice didn't keep his word and reveal our information. That's it. He's living his days happily. He doesn't want to be a junior to someone else. I was curious to ask him what happened. He told 6 possibilities. There is no work. Go to the bedroom before you go to work. He hurried back to the room and opened the email. Take a close look at the contents inside, then frown. Because the email wasn't directed at him. It's an open letter. The contents of the letter is order for all dysfunctional organizations in the Jiangnan area. Ask them to be on time at the headquarters of Jiangnam on 8-4. This is the order of the commander of Jiangnan province, Chu Main. Although the email did not specify what it would be like if it did not go. But just use your toes to think. If anyone dares not come, it's like turning on the Jiangnan area. Until then, I'm afraid we'll face the wrath of the great Jiangnan region. Lazy Campaign said. Today finally came not so suddenly. Even though he didn't want to leave the Tianhai city. But this kind of situation happens sooner or later. After the end of the world, policies from the central government cannot be promulgated to the local. This leads to small and large organizations here in all areas. And as the situation stabilizes, it will definitely be managed by the top management. If not, it's time. This whole land is bound to fall into chaos. Jiangnam area now wants to free hands to unite sand piles leaving theaters of many cities in Jiangnan. Zhang Yi can understand this. He's just a little lazy. I just want to manage my land well. He looked at the phone thinking. The summons of the Jiangnan region. You want us to make a pilgrimage? Is there going to be a war? No, not really. I really don't want to go. It's good to be the emperor of a land. It's a shame we can't fight back. I have to go. What's the outside world like now? I was also curious to try a trip. He can't refuse this, even though he's become very strong. But I also don't want to make enemies with the strongest power in the region. But with a careful nature, he had to find out the situation first. Even though you know the school, I can only tell him part of it. But he still decided. Find out the contact number of the school district, then call. This time in the snowstorm. Assistant Attorney General Fan is wearing a plain clothes, waiting for rice at the table. Outdoor heavy snowfall. Inside the house is a warm scene. His 8-year-old son is chubby. Is using chopsticks to stir up 8 rice, while his wife is cooking soup in the kitchen. This ordinary house is now in a snowstorm. This is absolutely a grade A living area. Only those with the rank of captain or higher, with relatives, they are allowed to live here. The school has just been promoted. That's why the spirit is excited. Working with my wife, also more excited than usual. That's it right now. When he's on the phone, the name of the caller was recorded as Trongyip. The smile on his face immediately froze. He thought silently. This is regret. I want to be captain of SAO. The little tiger next door looked at his father's strange face. Not to ask Ba. Why is that? The school teacher looked at her smiling son and said, No, Ba is dealing with a bit of work. You and I eat first. He took the phone and went to the bathroom. Then locked the door. Carefully observe around a turn. Then I got on the phone. A lot of translation. There is someone besides me. How's Captain Lee these days? Biography of the bar. To hear Zhang Yi's joking voice. Take a deep breath. Thanks to you, I am also a captain. What are you looking for? The movement is not round. Get straight to the point. The summons of the Jiangnan area is the SAO. Tell me about it. The school district heard him ask about this issue. Laugh comfortably. Turns out, it's because of this. Your letter has also been received. Zhang Yi replied. Just received. It is right to receive. The governor recently made a decision. They want to unite all forces. It can be integrated into the Jiangnam area. We've also been notified about this. For 8/4 lunar calendar, there's going to be a lot of psychopaths coming here. We need to keep the situation stable. In the blizzard. By then, at least 2 investigative teams will be here. Turng Yu remembers that the Border Martial Arts said the kind of investigative team they are. There are a total of 6 teams. That any investigative team is a powerful force. Enough to flatten an entire area. Not just every member of the team. They're all high-powered. They also own equipment. And the most advanced scientific techniques provided by Jiangnam. The police don't care about this either. He was interested in the main purpose of the meeting. This time he asked. This time call us here. They want to absorb us. United to transform into an all-powerful army, managed by the area. That's right. Politburo School Bar scratched head. I don't know about this either. Although SAO is the intention of the general not be delivered to your hand. Frontline fighters, as we are. But I see you've been thinking a lot. Her eyes moved sharply. Oh, why again? The school is honest. I want to raise one. It takes a lot of resources. If you bring the whole power of the region to the south, it's not about where to dress. As well as your training resources, all must be supplied by the region SAO. A snowstorm, no matter how rich, I can't stand this waste. Giggle epidemic. At most, there are only a few thousand. You can't even raise it. The school heard that and laughed. Mutants eat a lot, but just a little food. It's a small thing compared to headquarters. We've got our own farm. Can be self-sufficient. But what's really rare is a special drug. Used to foster mutants. I discharge flash. There is also this drug SAO. Of course. Regional powers like us. Holds advanced technology and how to foster mutants. The most professionally in the country. Or you think that? Because of the mutants in the blizzard. They all have strong power than people in other cities. It seems to be opening up the eyes. But I'm not jealous either. If you have to trade your freedom to be stronger. He would rather not do it. Even though he is strong enough now. After listening to the Minister of Defense, Zhang Yi replied. In short, we can understand. Is the Jiangnam area. They have asked us to comply with the law. But they don't want to provide us with supplies. Right? The deputy chief shrugged. Not so much. Now is the time of chaos. Hyren, the outside world, is also a powerful force. They want to make good use of this force. And avoid letting it get out of control. Cause a lot of trouble. So until then, I will definitely give you a condition. That you can accept. A little more comfortable, he thought. If so, take a look there. There's nothing wrong with that, either. You just have to hide your true power. Don't let people know. So he can talk. You say it again and again. In the end, we have to go through it with our own eyes to know the situation. The laughing school replied to you. I invite you to drink. I don't need you to say. Then I will come looking for you too. Of course, it's the school district. Want to pull the campaign to his side. Let Zhang Yi keep a secret for the two of you. Zhanjing took the opportunity. From his mouth, more information about the snowstorm. I can see that they both achieved their goal. End of the conversation. Stretch your body comfortably, he told himself. Okay, it's time to let people know about this. Let's focus people urgently. While waiting for everyone to arrive, Trong translation hand call for Celestial. Ask him if he has any news. The angel replied, I also received it just now. You tell me if we're coming or not. Cosmetic translation promotion. The celestial side has received the news. Look out for red pepper and Tran Tin Quang. It will not be outside either. This time, I'm afraid, the whole power of the Tianhai city. We will all go together to speak to the heavens. Of course, we have to come. Until then, we'll form a team. Some people will be strong. They can also rape others. Avoid people who don't know what causes trouble. The sky was determined to follow the path of the epidemic. Of course, he gladly agreed. When you get out, say an hour. So make that decision. After Zhang Yi hung up the phone, I called the other two bases and said the same thing. Of course, they also get news from the Jiangnan area and agreed to accompany Zhang Yi to the Snow City. After Zhang Yi finished the phone call, everyone has come enough. Translation program opens male content on the screen. Show it to everyone. People can't help but gossip in the living room. The AI's faces were all visibly curious and worried. They don't know much about the Jiangnan area, but also know it's a very powerful place. He looked at everyone and said, Okay, there's enough of you. I'll talk to everyone about why you're calling people here. General Department of Jiangnan issued an order. Assemble all the forces in the region. Request, we have to get to the Snow City by April 8th. This problem is basically irreversible. Even more impossible to refuse. We have to get there. So, inform everyone in advance and get ready. Fat words say, and suddenly, the district has summoned us there. I don't know if there's a conspiracy. The king also spoke up, probably not. Maybe it's just a summons. It's like a military parade. The fat man asked if he was ready to fight. The king is not sure. But it's probably not. Even though it's the end of the world. But there are 6 big areas of the United States who dare to invade. Listen to people talk. He told me the news he had heard from the police. Manager for everyone. People don't have to worry too much. I've been in touch with friends there. This time, it must be the general headquarters of Jiangnan. I want to hold a conference to show authority. Uniform managing large and small forces across the region. Not to the point of absorbing us, so that we can get out of the Tianhai city and get there. Once we leave Tianhai city, it will become a dead city. Will unfortunately be watched by others. I believe that South Africa will not make such a decision. Okay, now we're going to identify who needs to get there. His dying eyes flashed through everyone. Coldly speaking, it is the same as before. From fat circulation and flowers to blizzards. The others stay. But someone has an opinion. Chu Kai Ni looked forward to Trong Ying. Expand translation. The whole Jiangnam area rarely meets mutants. I want to go see it too. I don't know what I can do for you. I laughed and said I was a doctor. We're not going to war. What are you going to do? Zhu Kai Ni explained. Can't be said in advance. I told you, it was a mess up there. If there is a fight, then why? It's safer to have a doctor with you. To speak to Kai Ni. Blizzard City, may have no Dr. Sao. But Chu Kai Ni raised his eyebrows. Don't worry, let their doctor treat you. In Zhu Kai Ni's eyes, it looked abnormal. Think for a moment and immediately detect the problem. I mean, if we go there and they treat us, they are likely to leak their intelligence. Jiangnam province holds scientific masonry, extremely advanced technology. More, there's also an organization that evaluates mutant levels. If the translation chapter, let them check, it's not just the level, power that even his specific abilities. They will also be investigated. Bean. Jill seriously said, I'm worried they'll get your gene and build a weapon against it. Zhang's eyes deepened. He couldn't help but think about starting the bullet. This weapon is actually being developed, aimed against mutants. If your genetic information is obtained by someone else, then create a weapon specifically aimed at you. It's not impossible. It's not just the epidemic that feels dangerous. Others also have a cold feeling running along their backs, they exclaimed. How complicated is it? Uncle Wang said. Even if we say that, we have to be careful. Absolutely do not disclose information about yourself, especially from Fat. Serious facial tone, after thinking about my usual hobby. He decided he was going to bring pepper spray. There's absolutely no DNA left there. The words of Zhu Kai Ni convinced Zhang to translate. He thinks he should use his doctor. More assured. You can move your head with us. Zhu Kai laughed happily. It's rare to have a chance to go that far. Of course, you don't want to miss it. Six of course looked at Zhu Kai Ni with admiring eyes. He also volunteered to speak. Let me go with you. Second Plague 6 Revelation. Don't mess around with your head. If you all go, how can I take care of you? But 6 Revelation gives Zhang a reason. It makes him unable to refuse. Great CA, the Jiangnan area has so many advanced weapons. In addition to the bullet, there must be others. I don't want to get SAO. She put a hand on her chest, confidently said. Just give us a chance to interact with them. We'll analyze the structure and composition of the material. It's very possible that we could copy it. Hold your neck, you have to go. Even if someone doesn't go, then you must give me my light. So that's the list of people who went to the Snow City. It was decided so happily. The others have no intention of following. Yang Bile said, my wife and I stayed at home waiting for them to return. Yang Xin must be at home. One side to support information for Trong and others. On the other hand, it's just you and Zheng in this house. It's about winning the system. To leave the house, the safety of the shelter will be guaranteed by you. End of the closed door campaign meeting. This time I decided to go to the snowstorm. A total of 6 people and a cat. After determining the number of people, it will come to snow. Trong Yip answered the opponent with the words. Received it. This is considered a basic historical equation. I read the message without replying. It's easy to make people feel arrogant. Not long after, Kier sent an email. The content in it is very simple. Please wait at the Shrine of Sun subway station. Jiang Highway District at 02:30 p.m. 7/4. Then someone will come to pick you up. The epidemic is a bit unexpected. He thought he would have to drive himself. I can't believe they even arranged a car. No matter what. Thinking about it makes sense. If everyone's driving to get to, it's a lot of traffic, It's inconvenient for management. Translation thinks so. He told his people to pack their bags. It is now 7 for 2 days away. Yang Mi turned around and told Zhang Yi, "Let us prepare food for you first." Zhang then opened a phone meeting. Give the heavenly figure, Zhao Hong and Tran Tin Quan at the meeting. 3 people dare not delay. It immediately appears in front of the lens. The translation says, "I have replied to the letter from the Jiangnan Great Region. They said they'll arrange someone to pick them up." Why is everyone there? 3 people expressed that the enemy gave them the time and place. It's no surprise, just like Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi nodded, but in his heart, he could not escape a moment of fear. If I had neglected before, not answering the letter, this may cause a misunderstanding of the enemy. Ask 3 of them. What does the Sun Temple Metro mean? Maybe we can take the subway to get there. Red Pepper calmly said, "Traffic in the United States is divided into 2 types. One is civilian, one is military. There are some roads, including the railway. The subway is not open to the public. Their construction is also quite secretive. Normal people are basically inaccessible. I remember that there was a special train running through the temple. Before the end of the world happens, Pink is someone who worked in the military. She knows a little bit about this too." If you can't help but nod, Ra is like that. It's already a dedicated line, so in the end of the world, can still work normally, SAO. It's unbelievable. After an exclamation, the campaign reminded them, don't bring too many people. You just need to bring along some of your quintessential friends, is okay. That sounds a bit hurtful, but they were quick to nod. 3 large bases now. The power is almost gone. Most of them have been killed in the last few major battles. After the discussion was over, Trong Yi hung up the phone. He fell down on the chair thinking. Hope to the headquarters of Jiangnan, do not happen anything. Everyone listens to what the translation says. Getting ready to go.